Okay, to change your magnet holder, the first thing I did is I removed the screws. On older mice, they are Phillips screws, and you need a number one sharp, good fitting number one screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, to remove these screws. If it's a newer mouse, it'll be a number 10 Torx that hold the screws in, and you will need that Torx screwdriver. But now that I've already removed the screws, I'm going to remove the magnet holder. You always hang on down here and turn it loose. I'm also going to remove the line and lure and pull it off of here. And so then I'm going to kind of examine where is this magnet holder. It should be very close to the cover, and I don't know if you can see that. And of course, it has to move back and forth without rubbing the cover. Sometimes I listen to it because it's easy to hear if it's rubbing on the cover. Then you sort of work this back and forth a little bit because I've got the screws out. Okay, and then I hold down on the magnet holder because you got to lift the cover off of it. And I keep the circuit board and push down with a 1/16 inch Allen wrench. I loosen the screws on the collar. Now you may not have this collar. You might only have tappings in the plastic. If that's what you have, you need to be very careful because as the plastic gets older, it's easier to break it when you retighten them. And if you do, then you will probably need a new box in addition to the that comes with a collar. So now that it's loosened, you twist this a little bit. And be careful because you don't want to be smashing onto any parts in the board, and you want to just twist this a little bit until it comes out, okay? And so there it is. Now your magnet holder is out, and you put your new one. I'm going to just put this one right back in again. Now I'll show you underneath here. You see the cross, and there's a little hole in the center. You have to get this tip to go in that hole, and you won't be able to see it, and when the hose is, you got to be it all has to lay in there just so. Then I'm going to put the cover back on. Get everything lined up, push it through, and then put the screws back in. So after you put the screws in, you want to be sure that each one of them is fairly tight, without stripping it, and be sure that the cover has fully engaged so that it's down all the way around. Then you should, if you don't have the QuadJoy app, you want to go to quad.life with the little color dots, and when you get to that website, you go to downloads, and you see that the first download is the QuadJoy configuration app, and you get it, and it's allowing you to save it. Might be some problems. I'll save this one just to see what the problems might be. It says it's done, and then it needs to be installed, and that might be a problem too because of Windows security. But I'm just going to go to where my app is right now, because I keep it. It has this QuadJoy logo. I keep it on my machine, and there's two things that you're going to do. Normally, it is not in maintenance mode. If you hold down Shift and Control, you can turn maintenance mode off with the letter O or turn it back on with the letter M. We're going to need some functions that are in maintenance mode. Maintenance mode, you got to be careful not to click things that I don't talk about. But at this point, you want to be sure that the magnet holder is about the right height that it was before. You may have to twist a little bit and raise it up because I really want it to be as high as possible without rubbing on the cover. Okay, now that the magnet holder has been installed and replaced, and we need to tighten it, the stick is on so that the weight is properly, I will actually put the line and lure on. And you could the rubber hose will turn on on the little spigot so that it's not so that it looks like it's fairly across. And then I've checked the magnet holder, it's not rubbing, and so on. So here I'm going to finish tightening this, and I'm just going to keep moving at this slowly, because I don't want it too tight, but I certainly can't have it too loose. So you see that I'm fairly close to perfect, and I'm just rolling this in. There's the right height on that, and the right height will be when it's sitting at the right angle. It's perhaps a touch high, which doesn't hurt, and then this final adjustment is going to make it almost perfect. And then I'm going to go to the main. I'm going to rotate this in complete circles for at least three circles. And in maintenance mode, there's the bottom box says calibrate range, and you click that and it'll tell you it's calibrated. And that makes sure that the stick, sometimes the dot didn't show up, there it is. That'll make sure that the stick is making pretty close to complete round circles. Once again, I'm going to listen for that it's not rubbing, and it's not rubbing, and it's fairly well centered, and that's how you change your magnet holder.